Hey everybody, this is Dream, and today I'm going to be reviewing Within the Blade. Within the Blade is developed by Amethyst Studio and published by Ratalaika Games. It is a platformer game. It's also an ID at Xbox title, and it is $10.99 on Xbox. It came out on July 16th of 2021, and this is a platformer. You play as a warrior with a blade, most likely a katana most of the time, and you need to progress through the levels by killing enemies, finding people who have been taken, and try to restore the town at, at, at by the end of the game by killing all the bosses and things of that nature. Throughout this, you're going to find coins and other pickups that you can use to buy items and also craft items. And then there's also kind of a leveling system, so to speak, whenever you complete certain amount of levels or kill some bosses, where you get points for doing that, and those points can be used to upgrade your character, and there's a skill tree involved with that. Overall, the game is kind of fun, and it's not the best game, and it's like it, but it is pretty decent for the type of game that Ratalaika typically puts out. So it's definitely one of their better games. There are a few positives about the game. A lot of the like movement styles and stuff of that are different than what you see in a lot of games like this, and it's all. But on the other hand, that's also makes it so it's not as easy to pick up and play as some types of games. But I do applaud them for actually trying to do something a little bit different. Um, the Also, the skill tree is actually pretty well created. Um, I like games that have skill trees a lot of times, and for a small little game like this to have such a nice advanced skill tree, it's actually a pretty good effort from the developer for making, for not really, past it, not skipping over something like that. The only couple drawbacks that I really found in the game is that some of the controls are kind of wonky, and then also like when it comes to items and things, the uh, like when you're trying to craft items and you're trying to do different things like that, it's a little bit not very well laid out to make that pretty easy to do. It's a little strange, and then it's also not obvious which characters you can talk to in the city. Um, at least not super obvious, and you wouldn't if you didn't do it on accident like I did, then you may not even know that you could talk to those people in the city at all. So, or that you could talk to them in order to buy items and things. So, there's a couple little things that I kind of had an issue with in the game itself. Overall, though, the game isn't too very difficult. It isn't very short either necessarily. I mean, it's longer than a lot of Ratalaika games are. So, um, overall, it's a decent game, and I don't think it's a bad game. I do think the price point is probably a little bit high for what this is. This is kind of like a really good arcade game. So $5 to $6 price tag would probably been better. It is actually on sale right now for $8.79, but like I said, $5 or $6, probably a better price. So that probably hurts their sales a little bit, being a little bit overpriced. But overall, it's not a terrible game, so I'm gonna give it a 7 out of 10. A lot more enjoyable than I assumed going in, based on what I was figuring the quality of the game. Um, so that's where assumptions often aren't always what you think coming into a game. So I was pleasantly surprised by this one. So I definitely recommend it if you want a decent platformer, or if you want a game that you can get most of the achievements relatively easily. Again, it's not the fastest achievement game. It's going to take you a few hours, but it's pretty enjoyable experience. Like, it's not too terrible or hard to be successful, and there's a lot of checkpoints along the way too. So when you do die, that's not too big of an issue. That's pretty much all I got for this one. So if you do pick it up, let us know in the comments what you think about it, and thanks for liking, commenting, and subscribing. Have a nice day, guys.